The One Man Symphony. Every night, under a sky stitched with the lights of Beirut, Chadi dragged his battered suitcase through winding streets. Inside it, a tangle of cables, a loop pedal, a small drum pad, a vintage microphone, and an old keyboard. The entire orchestra of a man who believed he could be a whole band by himself. They called him the One Man Show, though most nights, he played for a crowd of passing shadows who hardly noticed the magic he spun from nothing. But Chadi didn't perform for them. He performed for the ones who might stop, the ones who might hear it, really hear it. One evening, at a busy corner near Jamaiza, something strange happened. As his fingers danced across the keys and his voice rose in a raw, powerful melody, the city around him seemed to shift. Streetlights flickered in rhythm. Taxi horns harmonized in perfect fifths. A wind, cool and deliberate, stirred his hair as if the very air was listening. And from the shadows, people began to emerge, not rushing past, not pulling their coats tighter, but stopping, wide-eyed, as if waking up from a long dream. Chadi played on, heart pounding, layering his sounds until the whole street became his stage. Strangers linked arms and swayed. Children sat cross-legged on the sidewalk, eyes sparkling. Even the old stone building seemed to lean in closer. For that night, Beirut wasn't chaotic or careless. It was alive, breathing in time with the beat of one man's dream. And Chadi realized, maybe he was never playing alone. Maybe the music had always been waiting for someone to believe in it enough to set it free. As the last note faded into the warm Beirut night, Chadi sat back on his stool, breathing hard. For a moment, there was a stillness, the kind that feels sacred. Then the street exploded into applause, not the polite kind, but real applause, wild and raw, the kind that said thank you for waking us up. Chadi smiled, a little dazed, and started packing up his gear when a man in a dark suit pushed through the crowd. He wasn't flashy, no camera crew, no loud entourage, but he had a presence that made people step aside without thinking. He wore old leather shoes, the kind that had traveled far, and carried a small notebook tucked into his jacket. "You're Chadi, the One Man Show?" the man asked in a deep, thoughtful voice. Chadi wiped sweat from his forehead and nodded. "That's me." The man smiled, a small, knowing smile. "I've been looking for you." Before Chadi could ask what he meant, the man handed him a card. On it, a simple logo, Cedar Music Collective, one of the most respected music houses in the Middle East, known for discovering artists who changed the world. "We're starting something new," the man said. "Real music, real souls, no machines, no fake lights. Beirut is ready again, and we want you to lead the way." Chadi stared at the card, heart thudding. Was this real? He thought of all the nights playing to empty streets, all the times he almost gave up. The man leaned closer. "Come to the rooftop of the old cinema tomorrow night. Bring your keys, bring your voice, no one else, just you." And just like that, the man disappeared into the crowd. Chadi stood there, clutching the card, feeling the weight of it. The city hummed around him, but tonight it wasn't just noise, it was a song, and for the first time, he knew, he was the melody it had been waiting for. The next night, Chadi climbed the crumbling stairs of the old cinema, keyboard case banging against his back. Beirut stretched out behind him, neon signs flickering, the scent of Manausha and car exhaust heavy in the air. When he reached the rooftop, he found a small crowd waiting, not hundreds, just a handful, musicians holding battered instruments, singers with hopeful eyes, dreamers like him. At the center stood the man from the night before, nodding approvingly. No fancy lights, no speakers, just a few lanterns swinging in the breeze and a wide-open Beirut sky. Chadi sat up quietly, heart pounding. As he pressed his fingers to the keys, something shifted again, like the night before, but stronger. The rooftop came alive with sound, bold, aching melodies, woven from every hope he ever carried inside him. He sang of lost loves and forgotten promises, of crowded streets and quiet dreams, of Beirut, battered and beautiful, always aching for more. The others joined in, violinists, drummers, oud players, their music rising together like a phoenix made of sound. For a few precious hours, they weren't strangers, they were a single heartbeat, a living memory. It felt like the start of something bigger than any of them, a revolution of sound, a city reborn through music. But dreams, no matter how loud, are fragile things. A few months later, the first gunshots cracked through the streets. Barricades rose where melodies once floated. Friends vanished overnight. Rooftops became battlegrounds. The Cedar Music Collective scattered like dust in the wind. The music stopped. The one-man show packed away his keys, the loop pedal, the drum pad. He closed the battered suitcase for the last time. And just like that, this whole dream ended with a civil war.